Welcome to day 2 of the UX streaming extravaganza. I like that. That kind of flowed very nicely.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Everybody, welcome back here for day 2 with Pek Pongpaet. Right here with us, a very talented Pek Pongpaet.
And Talon.
Impekable design studio. How do you... I've used like a bunch of words now. Digital agency?
I just call it a digital agency.
Digital agency with here, very talented. Here we are designing today in Adobe XD. I'm Talon Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer of Adobe XD, and I'm here we're just here to chat, to do some design, talk some shop, take your questions here on the chat. If you have any questions, joining us for the first time, you've never used XD, let us know. We want to see what you've been up to, see if you have any questions, and we're here to answer that. Could be about design, could be about engineering. Pek's got some background there. Maybe small business even advice. We got into a little bit of that yesterday, but today we're going to get into the meat of it.
Yeah.
Today.
So to recap, yesterday we spent our time looking at our current website, recognizing what the issues were, understanding the feedback from customers and prospects.
So the Impekable site.
The Impekable
We're redesigning.
Site. Yes.
Pek's, because he's a busy guy. He's running a studio of 30+ people. Like, there's no time to work on your website.
No time.
So here's thought would be a great project here for our stream.
Yeah, and it's I would say call it a basic agency or freelancer website. A lot of the elements will be pretty commonly used. I thought it was a great idea to kind of cover those elements and ideas.
Yeah.
If you're working on starting your own design studio or you're a freelancer and you're thinking about having your own website, these are some of the things you might want to think about.
Yeah. So I mean, website design, right? Like we all, that's always like the last thing we do, right? And so it's a great time to sort of look at what's kind of out there in industry, and we kind of looked at some examples and some best practices out there. And now today, after you did some sketching yesterday, we're going to be redesigning your website in XD. Yep. And just a little preview.
Yeah,
This is a brand new build.
So I have a build of XD on my machine that's pretty latest and greatest.
Not out yet to the public yet.
Yeah. So we'll show you some cool new features.
So we got some cool stuff on tap today. Hey everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us here. If you're on YouTube, come over to Behance and say hi. Tim, always the rock man, he's always around. Abtin, Christian, Olivier, thanks for coming back around. Great to see you on again. Karsten, Jorge, hey guys, how are you?
Hey Tim.
Abtin had a quick question on mobile preview on Windows. It's Windows, it's complicated. The team has been working really hard. Right now, there's a great way to preview if you use Creative Cloud files to get your XD documents over to your mobile device with Windows. And we're working really hard on supporting the USB connection, the live USB connection like we do on Mac. But that one's been pretty tricky on Windows. We're getting there. Yep. Tim just wants. He's like, show me the new stuff, man. Give me access to that version. Tim, you won't have to wait too long. I will say, it's
coming.
Yeah, it's coming very, very soon. Sahil, thanks for joining us. Thomas, thanks for joining us again. Carlos, how are you guys doing? Okay, so yesterday we did a couple things to sort of start and where do we start with a UX redesign of your site.
Yeah.
And so walk us through a little bit of that process that we just really quickly, like what we kind of covered yesterday. So
we went through the feedback, and we can kind of switch over to my screen here. We went and quick recap of this is what works based on what users are telling us.
Little customer feedback here.
Customer feedback.
Of course, great place to start.
Of course, a ton of things that don't work.
Yeah.
And so we're in this redesign. We're going to address some of that, and then we finished the day with a sketch on the iPad of the solution that we just quickly sketched out. And I actually got some really great. I got a great suggestion from you in terms of how to deal with the logo. If we could switch to the iPad. Yeah. And the logo section was really great because I had. One of the pieces of feedback was that some of the customers felt like these are all big clients. Maybe that's not for me. Maybe you guys are not a good fit. So we thought, okay, well maybe we have like different filters or sections on how to, filter out different logos and show. And you had suggested something really cool was maybe the tabs could be industries.
Industries, yeah. Really categorize your sort of the client base, right? By industry.
Yeah, this section right here.
And we also talked about, again, the knowledge like of the web, of how that technology works, of the information that's getting passed along, actually even dynamically changing like which tab is selected depending on where you might be coming from as a user. Right.
And I really like that idea because tabbing by industries potentially cuts down on the length of the page because do we really need the industries section now potentially, right? If we can kind of show all the industries listed here
so we were kind of
work for.
Thinking about this page really as kind of a storyboard. Like you had some high level goals in mind for when potential customers come here. You wanted to give them a really great sort of view of the work first. Show that you've done great work for lots of companies, both big and small. Showcase the team, and then of course have them contact you directly.
Right.
There were a couple other goals in there, but I think anything we can do to really like make that short and sweet.
Right.
Kill two birds with one stone in some of these sections. Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So with that, we can dive right in since we have a sketch
we're gonna dive right into this special pre-release build of XD.
Yeah. So the first thing I noticed was that the icon color is different to indicate, that this is not
the full build.
Yeah, that was really neat.
It was getting very confusing for a while. I actually just barely cleaned up my dock. I had like 5 or 6 identical build like icons in my dock. Of course, I'm using the latest and greatest plus testing all the various builds that are out there. And it got a little confusing. So I was really happy when our engineering team decided to sort of make this change.
Yeah,
it helps me stay organized.
I definitely noticed it. So yeah.
All right.
So,
okay, so here we are in XD. Okay, so today we've got this sketch, right? We've got an idea of kind of the flow of your page. Again, like where are you going to start? Again, yesterday we talked a little bit about, sometimes getting too ahead, right? Diving into those details a little too soon. Like, what is this phase of the project? Now that we've kind of opened up XD, we have a sketch, or at least a rough wireframe.
Yeah, we have a rough wireframe. Yeah. So I have enough to start designing on XD now, right? I feel like, it's good enough to start working on this. Yeah, we have the big pieces.
Yep.
So with that, I kind of want to see what it's going to look like.
Let's do it. Oh, and you've already got the assets panel all kind of. You get done a little work setting that up.
There's you can if you're starting a new project, we can kind of go through this together. This is a web project, and
I actually love that you have that pre-populated because I think that that's something that like you might have like an established brand or style or design system that you're working with. Right?
Yeah. So in thinking about this, this is to me the analogy here is like I'm on a cooking show, and you want to pre-chop your vegetables because you're on the show to it's only a limited amount of time, so you're gonna have to prep some stuff.
Well, I think speed's something that in the design process that I've really been obsessed with and really been, and actually one of our early taglines was really design at the speed of thought. Like that's really how we wanted to approach organizing and choreographing the tools and the experience inside of XD, and the assets panel has actually been one of my favorite features because it's like one of those, if you can do some work to again remove, get you out of trying to decide which colors you're using, or you can rely on an established maybe UI kit from like a platform that you're designing for. That just helps you speed up the process a little bit. Helps you get going. And so, even outside of like I was seeing this, like you've got maybe some established elements that you've been working with, right? That you want to sort of you've already made that decision. Just start using them directly inside of XD.
Well, if you're working for let's say you're working for a big enterprise and you already have an established style guide and you're working on a new product, but it still needs to look and feel like part of the brand, part of the product family. You don't want to start from an empty slate like this because you need the logo for speed and simplicity and ease of use. You want the color palette right there. You want the fonts right there already. You want the logos and the iconography, sticker sheet all right there already. Because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time hunting all that down.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to have like all the assets right there.
I love it. I love it. It's like something that we have our own kind of style guide design system that we use internally here at Adobe, and like all of my new documents, I just want that asset panel just like pre-populated with all that stuff. 'Cause I'm just going to keep going back to it. So,
exactly. So you know, whatever product family you're working for, you might want to create a template of that already has the typekit fonts, you know, the logos, the SVG logos, and all that stuff, the color palettes and the typography, style sizes, and all that stuff.
Yes, indeed. Hey, to the chat, I want to say hi to Matthias. He's always on tap as well. How's it going, man? Good to see. Always good to see you and Tim in the chat here. You know, I thought I was going to make more progress on rulers, guys. This is just a little conversation we've been having for a long time about adding rulers. to XD. Gonna have to wait a little while.
I was asking if I wanted rulers as well, but no worries, no worries.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right. The assets panel, though. Do you guys like the assets panel? Have you tried the assets panel? Like, let me know. Would love to hear that. How you guys use it. All right. Okay. So you've got your ingredients all ready to go in the assets panel. All right.
I like to start with the big element, and let's, you know, in this case, the big element would be kind of like one of the hero images. You know, I have a few from, you know, you can get it from stock.adobe.com. You know, I like, you know, checking out Unsplash because it's nice and free. Okay, so I got something here that might work. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. So this is going to be kind of your placeholder. You're going to work with this kind of, you know.
Yeah, let's see. You know, it's got some nice elements. Actually, it may or may not work. Let me just try something else. Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, Yadira, that assets panel has really saved me a lot. I am like working on new ways to make it even better. Lots of exciting stuff. Actually, there's some stuff that not quite yet in pre-release, but coming soon. So.
Yeah, feel free to tell us more about what's coming.
We'll get there. We'll see if anyone notices it first. If anyone knows the UI of XD very well, I think there's maybe a few things that'll start standing out right away.
All right. But, so I have a template here, and it's going to go a little over the edge, but I want to keep this just kind of like this size. So what I'm going to do is just maybe create a mask.
Yep. All right.
Just Let's see.
So masking, it's one of those tried and true features across all the Adobe applications.
So, yeah, right.
Olivier with the eagle eye.
Boom.
Nice.
You know, the navigation is going to be here, and so what's going to happen, I already know that it's going to be, well, let's just do it for fun, right? Like, let's just start adding text.
Putting some elements here. You know, you're going to have some nav up there.
Yeah.
That's right, because like you're sort of thinking about this as a single page. So these you're talking yesterday, these might be jump links to different parts of the page. You know, keep that experience really tight for users, not send them off to maybe even different pages. So this nav could end up, we can try some different things on that. Maybe. Yeah.
20 point is a little big for a menu item, so I don't want to call too much attention to it. Let's make it 16. This is kind of where I really like Adobe XD here. You know, the traditional way of kind of creating a menu is like, you know, you just copy and paste this and, you know, kind of like do this thing. And, you know, you got industries, you got services. That's all fine and dandy, right?
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that, but we can kind of, this is why I'm using Adobe XD, is something like this where I can just do that. Boom. Whoa.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
I never get tired of that.
I love this. Yep. And then I can go in and, you know, let's just call this home. What are people interested in? Services.
Yeah, services. Yep.
What industries do I specialize in?
Yep. The team, about
case studies.
Yeah, case studies, project.
Yeah,
yep.
Projects
good.
or case studies. What do you think? Case studies or projects?
Well, I don't think so. Would your potential client coming in, understand what a case study is, or is case study maybe a little too insidery?
Sure, let's call it projects then.
Yeah,
It's a nice
yeah.
simple word. One of the feedback when we showed them other competitors as well, and our own site. One of the feedback that came up was, I remember one person looked at somebody's site, I forget who, and they said, "This is complete jargon. I don't even know what this means." It's just a lot of buzzwords. So keeping it simple. Don't assume that they're from the right industry. They're from maybe a non-tech industry, but they need a mobile app. But if you're throwing out jargon, they might not know what it is.
They're like, I don't understand that. We run into that a lot as a team. Like we love and we think a lot about like design tools, and then we go out there and we talk to people and we use these terms, and sometimes they're just sort of looking at us very blankly, like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And of course, we'll talk to them a little more, and it comes to find out like they're doing something in the same way that we think they are, but they're just not calling it by that jargony name that we've been tossing around for months or years internally. It's definitely something to be aware of, like your audience and how they're going to approach.
One thing I can tell you, like people even have different definitions for design. For us, that design mostly encompasses doing the UI work, UX work on a design tool. But for some people, design also includes the HTML and CSS code. They call that design. For us, that's front end development. So just even getting on the same page. If you're doing freelancing and you're kind of agreeing on a scope of work, making sure that even you're aligned on definitions, because you might handshake on hey, we're doing this design, and then they're gonna expect like, where's the site? And you just like, well, why are you giving me this Photoshop file or this XD file? I asked for the design.
No, you be very careful. Be very careful about the
agreeing
words.
On the definition.
Yeah, always be aware of your audience and like what kind of language will best connect and communicate your ideas directly to them. Zilla, I just got to call out my good friend Rob Generetti. Rob Zilla. I always love it. I always love it when Zilla joins in. I always tune into his streams too, man. Guys, go check out Zilla's work. Sorry, just a side note. That guy's killing it. Particularly, he just did an Xbox Live custom version of an Xbox gaming station. Cool. That was all like Black Panther themed.
Oh,
the controllers and
that's pretty cool.
I didn't win. I'm very sad. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we've got some nav going on here.
Yeah, we talked about potentially team, right? People are interested in the team, so we want to just highlight that as maybe a page. And let's see what else we got.
And we got the context, right?
Right.
We talked yesterday about like, giving people like the clearest way possible to contact the team directly.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's see, where are we? That might be kind of on the. I might create another. Like another
button.
Group of elements.
Yeah, because you talked about like a call to action, right? We want this to be like the biggest and not necessarily the biggest, but one of those areas that are really going to draw your attention.
Right.
Like
exactly.
So nav's a little quieter.
Right. So we might want a stronger element than just text, because you're not going to necessarily notice that.
Yep.
So what I might do is just kind of draw a quick element here, button. And whoops. And they like the wording, get in touch with us or something.
Get in touch, a little more human, more human
touch.
Yes, human language. We are humans.
Right, exactly. I really recommend using. A lot of people starting out tend to like use the arrow keys to try to like kind of use their eyeball to gauge.
Well, the dimensions do pop up.
They do pop up, but what is way faster and more efficient and less error prone is using like the alignment tools, and
always
it's 2 clicks much faster, right?
Make sure that things are centered, square.
Exactly.
Our eye can really tell like those like almost imperceptible differences in spacing. I think that's what like when I go and critique designs, I'm always like my eye is immediately drawn to when things are a little shifted, like by like 5 or 10 pixels off, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Make sure it's it's square. I like that. Yeah. Hey everybody. Hey Munir. Good to see you back. Mark says hey Pek from NYC. Mark. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody in the chat, just a little note. Because you're all here chatting with us, and you maybe said hi in the chat, you're actually automatically entered in to our chat and win giveaway, which is we're gonna be announcing the winner of that randomly chosen in about 9 minutes or so. So if you've come by in the chat and said hello, you're automatically entered to win. So yeah, keep that in mind. 9 minutes, we're gonna be giving something away. Paco, is this what we're giving away today?
The prints.
Prints, yes. Just a little preview of what the giveaway is of today. We have these lovely prints that were created live on the stream from some past streams, and you get your choice of 3 amazing prints. One here, this is my favorite. Sorry, if you have one to choose, I'm gonna be a little biased. Not just because he's in the chat and he's my friend, but this one is by far the other are great too. No, don't get me wrong. I love all of these. These are really. Oh, never mind. You don't even have to choose. Bonus, you get all 3.
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool who thought you only got one of these. That was me. So you get all 3 today for the chat and win.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, Lucian, you've already been entered, but just by saying hello. So we're gonna be announcing the winner in just a bit here. So if you're if you're over there on YouTube, see there's a benefit coming over to Behance and saying hi in the chat. Yep.
So
Cool.
I have a strong call to action button.
Oh.
But hey, I can mess things up. So what I'm gonna do is group them together. That way they move as a whole.
Yep. Staying organized.
Yeah, staying organized.
Always good to do.
And then again, I can try to align this by hand, but I do recommend just kind of like doing this. So you might be off by a few. So just do that.
Good to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, oops.
So now, and then this is, don't think ahead too much, but it looks like maybe you're thinking a little bit ahead by actually having your buttons. Start to think about this as a component that you're going to use. Anytime you have a button or a call to action, this might be something that you want to use again.
Yeah,
When do you start thinking about that in your process?
You should, if you're not dabbling, and you're producing assets for a client, you should think about assets always, because if you do it once, chances are you're going to do it again on another page.
And that's kind of best practices, right?
Yeah,
you want consistency. You want to use the UI components to tell a story, and every time now what we're doing is trying to set up the user, say every time you see this color or you see this button, like it's the same button, it's going to do something, like it's going to call your attention to it. So
with our team, actually it's almost second nature to just make everything into an asset, because it happens a lot where you might work on this project for 3 months and then you're off on another project. And then guess what? 3 months later, a client comes back to you and says, "Hey, I need updates. We got new sections. Blah blah blah." Well, our designer is long gone on another project, so we gotta get another designer on. And guess what? Now assets come in real handy. So
it helps you kind of stay consistent within your own file, but then as other people might need to have access to that, it helps them navigate much more quickly.
Absolutely.
Instead of having to go and if they change the style of one button and go update it everywhere else that button is.
Yep.
Now, using it as a symbol and thinking about that, building that system from the minute you're working, then you make it change that button, and it'll update everywhere.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. Really nice.
And the way to do that, very simply, is to right-click, make symbol. Once you get the hang of this, start using shortcut keys. But shortcut keys are impossible to show on screen, so I like to just make it obvious.
Yeah.
So you make it a symbol, and it shows up right here.
Right there.
Yeah.
And drag it out. Drop it. Yeah.
So now if I get rid of it, I can just add it really easily back in here.
So good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And we talked about one more thing to make it even easier to get in touch with people. And let's see. is to add a phone number.
Oh,
So,
directly. Just drop it out there. Yeah, that's a great idea.
You know, whatever, 800, blah, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Nice. All right. So then just pick up the phone if they want.
Right. The idea is to lower the friction for people to get in touch with us.
Yeah.
So, get in touch with the contact form. If you want immediate access, get in touch by phone right here.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Logos, I happen to have already an asset for the logo right
Oh,
here.
good. Look at that.
Yep.
So you've created your logo type beforehand.
Yep.
You brought that into XD. You've created it as a symbol. Now it's ready to go.
Yep. Okay, so what's the problem with this as you see it right now?
Listen, missing a little contrast here.
Right.
I
absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Right. Like it's really hard to see.
Yeah.
Right. So what do I like to do? We can do it a couple ways. We can darken this background and make it a little darker. We can add a top kind of gradient, dark gradient, and then maybe make the menu white, and that'll make it pop out more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your, visual
Standard
liberties.
stuff. Yep.
Standard, pretty standard, tried and true practices. Because the logo is white, maybe kind of doing a
darker nav at the top header. Yeah.
Might work.
Could be good.
So let's try that.
All right. Oh man, I saw Karsten last week won a pillow. People are talking about all the different prizes we've had as chat.
I've been
chat and
asking
win.
for that pillow.
That pillow. You know what the crazy story? Like Karsten, you're very lucky to have that pillow. They actually don't make them anymore. Like those are gone. Those are there's only like a limited set of those out there in the world. So you should feel very, very lucky. I don't even have one. I don't even have like an XD pillow. I missed the boat. But I do have the socks.
Nice. So I have a
little gradient,
basic, simple gradient.
Just gives a little contrast, let those lighter elements pop a little more on this image.
It's on the wrong, kind of layer, but we can absolutely just send it back a bit, right?
Yep.
Send it back, and we send it too far back. So let's send it back here. And then so what we would do here then is we just make everything white.
There you go. That's popping. That's popping some more.
That's popping, right? So,
have you already made a character style for that nav?
I have not.
All right.
Good catch.
There you
right?
go.
So
that would make that change easier.
You would do that.
Yep.
And actually, I've already done all these character styles.
Yep.
Pre did it already here. So that's.
So then you just select it, apply that style, and then now if you change it, and then you can, any change you make to it will then just
propagate
globally wherever that style's in use.
So if you want to go nuts, right?
All right. If you haven't, say hi in the chat. You got 50 seconds left to be entered to win the Chat and Win giveaway today. Not one, not your choice of one. You get all 3 of these amazing prints that were designed live on the stream during the illustration week, which happens every month, so you should always tune in. One here by, of course, the OG, Robzilla here. Some other amazing prints here. So say hi in the chat, and you'll be automatically entered to win. You've got 20 seconds. Let's see the chat blow up there. Everybody coming over from YouTube.
All right,
just joining.
Go for it.
If you've been sitting on the fence, the wallflower, say hi. And then that's all you need to do. And then you've been entered to win. And we'll select the winner here in 10 seconds. These are great. I actually made Rob give me one of these a while ago. Oh, that's right. We're gonna do this cool little Chat and Win graphic. Okay, here it comes. All right, We have a winner here. I love that. That is a great graphic. Okay, give it a second. We're gonna these great prints. The winner today of these amazing prints
is
Olivier Bertrand. Olivier, I saw
congrats.
you chatting earlier there in the chat. Congrats. Get all 3 of these amazing prints. Excellent. All right.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Congrats. Very cool. Great
Very,
prints.
very cool.
Those are really great. All done. Actually, this one is not to talk. Zilla does all his work on the iPad. This one right here.
Really?
It's actually
Wow.
drawn on the iPad.
That's
Drawn
amazing.
in Adobe Photoshop Sketch.
All right.
Or is it still Adobe Idea? Yeah. Great work, man. All right, congrats, Olivier. All right, we're back here. We're talking global assets, global styles. We're designing, starting to set up all those components in our and assets in your site here. In the redesign, this is looking great. It's looking slick, a little more updated from the site. It looks looking nice.
Yeah. You know, I want to maybe put some text, right? A little bit about who we are, so that you get here. If the only thing you see is do more, that's kind of a little weird.
Yeah.
So we might want to put some text here. Let's see.
That's right, Zilla. Draw. I forgot that it's no longer Illustrator Draw. I have been here too long. I remember the old names of things. Yeah.
So what are we doing? Oh, I can't see my cursor.
Tim caught me too. I see. I can't. I don't know. There's a lot of apps to keep track of.
So we have a style.
Yep. Okay, this is our like headline style that you've set up.
And so this is just maybe your tagline. So for us, would be like a full service design and development. Can't type. Studio.
Arthur has the pressing question of the day.
Yes.
Actually going to use this design for the real site?
Yeah. We're gonna actively work on this, and there's probably this is the building blocks of this real site.
Probably go through some more iterations. This is just the first pass.
Yep. Yeah. This is gonna be the first pass for sure. So as you can see here, we have a problem. The white on white is really hard. So we're gonna go. This gradient worked for just the top, but I think we really need to darken this guy a bit, because otherwise we're just not going to see any white text. Yeah. So. Yeah. Right.
That's a tricky image to work with for sure. Yeah.
I like to be more precise here and
dial it in.
Right. Dial it in. What is it? 24. Or is it 180? 180.
Zilla, I love how Tim just like completed your sentence there. It's like an old married couple. Project Com, and then Tim followed up with the T. That was amazing, you guys.
Let's see. We are going to add some gradient, some percentage transparency, so that it's slightly more transparent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is better.
This is looking good.
So we're gonna send it backwards a bit. And as you can see, things are popping out.
Oh yeah, now things are really popping
out a bit.
Yep.
That's it.
That's solid.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
And if this is not enough, poppage, you can always dial down the percentage, or up or down. Yeah. So right now it's at 50%. We make this 80. Well, then maybe
a little much.
A little much. So I thought 50% was, this is something you could play with.
If we were doing iOS, we'd probably throw we'd do the iOS thing and throw a little background blur on there. Because it's web, that'd probably be a little much for the web. Yeah.
And actually, what we were gonna do, I think we mentioned it in the previous session, that people, the current site is actually a carousel, and people didn't like the carousel. Yeah. And
loading slow,
and some people just scroll right down, so you miss all that. this is potentially going to be a background video. So this really now is just a placeholder.
Just some kind of, just a little placeholder there.
Yeah, so we'll just like cut, have quick short bursts of our apps and our work. That way people get here, they don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
They just see the work right there.
Here's a question for you. I'll put my my XD hat on. Would you like to preview your video inside of XD?
That would be great.
Would that be cool?
Yeah, that'd be pretty
really
slick.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys like to do that? Actually, like be able to
preview,
drop a video into your prototype?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I would have loved to do that. We have a little bit of video. Like, for example, we would have loved to drop this MP4 onto that. And then just, because this is a really short animation, it'd be really cool to just drop that in as a placeholder.
So then when you're previewing the prototype, you just see
it works. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, someone on the XD team should get on that.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
No, that's
Right.
It's in the works.
Okay, cool.
That would be slick.
All right, so we can call this section done for now. We're at this point, we don't want to spend our whole time perfecting this one thing. We're drawing big strokes. Just like big blocks. Just like in the sketch.
A little more high fidelity, though.
We quickly went through the whole page. We want to do the same thing for here. I don't want to spend the whole day just on this. I want to see how it all fits together. So I'm going to move on to the next section. Right?
Yep.
And then, so we talked about the logo wall, potentially.
All right, so you're just going to do these ones. Like, do you have, like, those logos kind of all ready to go, or are you just going to do something a little placeholder here, and then later you'll go and replace them? Like, what would you, at this point in the process?
We have some logos prepped, so we can do that.
Nice. You could also, have, like you can with a repeat grid, where you could have the sort of like space the logo will take up, use circles or squares. Repeat them across, and then you could just drag and drop that folder of logos and just drop it right on there.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Dude, Zilla, Project Mighty, you're going with some of the greatest hits there. Zilla, he's been around. He's been around a bit. He knows what's what. Project Mighty, that was a good one, man. Yeah.
So we have an element here, right? That could function maybe as a logo placeholder.
Yep.
Right. So what we're going to do is kind of repeat that, and then there we have our logo wall. And we're just going to do maybe 2.
Yep. Be good.
2 rows.
And we talked about I think that the idea that we keyed in on yesterday, I think that's going to be right here, right? Is the ability to actually, like, people when they came to the site, like, they wanted to see that you'd done work for other businesses like them, businesses they identified with.
Exactly.
So you have your logo wall up there today, and of course you'd start with the big splashy, like the big names, the Whole Foods, and you had some other ones on there, but like, what if I'm not the Whole Foods? How do I see that you've done work?
How do you relate to me? Yeah. So we talked about having, let's just call this is the header, right? Our clients. I can't spell clients. Still, where's my copy? Again, we'll just center this. Let's see. Did I select the page? There you go.
There you go. Very nice.
We talked about adding tabs and filters.
Yep.
So
for this section, so you could show off more. This is going to accommodate more.
Yeah. And I could start just building out that tab. I'm a lazy guy. Guess what? This works for me.
Alright.
Yeah, this works for me.
Yeah.
So, whoops, and I lost it.
White
on white.
White on white.
Not so great. So we're gonna make this its own, right? Symbol.
Yep.
So we're gonna make its own symbol, and we're gonna make these dark.
All right. There we go.
And we're gonna call this, so we have, like, let's just call this all. Since we're doing industry, you know, enterprise, consumer. We do some work with CPG, but CPG again is a term, right? People don't know consumer packaged goods like what I know. So let's say consumer.
Consumer.
You know, we do work with healthcare. You know, we work with say legal. That's good for now.
Yeah.
You know, as a first pass, like, you know, this is what I can think of right now.
Yep. Mark had a great suggestion here.
Yeah.
Do you use layout grids in your
I
work?
do.
Yeah?
I do indeed.
Yeah.
That was just something I forgot about.
Oh.
So let's turn it on.
We can always go back and do it.
Dude, let's. Boom.
Oh yeah.
So this, and you bring me to an important point.
Yep.
Is you know, on the web, you always want to design using a grid because at the end of the day, somebody's going to be coding that thing up using a grid-based layout. And if you're not aligning things to the grid, you're making it very hard for that developer.
And hard for yourself.
And hard for yourself.
Yeah, this site's probably going to grow from one page to have multiple pages.
Yep.
And we talked about using the assets panel for consistency when it comes to the styling, the global styling, and the components of the UI. But you also want consistency in your layout across those different pages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So all I've done here is starting aligning things to the grid.
To the grid. Yep.
Yeah, for now.
Yep. And you can access the layout grid if you select that artboard, right?
Yeah.
Then you can customize that layout grid. Oh yeah, that's
do that
good move
right
right there immediately. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, maybe what I'd like to do is just select all this and group them because I seem to be moving them all the time, and I just want them to move as a unit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting us prepped for maybe showing off one of the new features here. What if you left that header in its own group?
Right. So like right now, if you you have this.
Yep.
Ooh, I had a border because it was
there's a box there.
There was a box, and I wanted to see the box. So I created a border, and
layout grid saved lives.
Yep.
Yes, they do, Howard. You're very correct.
So what were you saying? You wanted to show a new feature.
So keep that. You have that gradient there at the top.
Yeah.
That's underneath the little darker one that's underneath your header.
Yeah.
Group that with your logo type and your nav elements.
Yeah. How do I get down?
So maybe ungroup the. I think did you ungroup that?
I think I already.
Okay, you ungrouped. Okay, so select everything in there at the top, along with that darker gradient that you had, sort of calling out the header.
Should I just
maybe lock? Lock them. Maybe just lock them.
Yeah.
So just select. So do a quick marquee select of
I locked
them all.
everything. So unselect everything and just lock this guy since I'm really not gonna move.
Yeah, I'm not gonna move that around.
So now I can
just
quickly
marquee that stuff.
Boom.
Yep. Still getting there because you had that overlay on top of the image, so those two need to be locked.
Right. Yep. Okay. I'm just got some more problems here.
Right.
Oh, I grouped them all together.
Yep.
So let's ungroup these guys.
Yep. Okay. So
now
marquee select the two big ones.
Yep.
On its own.
Oop, I'm still selecting.
Yep. So click on the pasteboard. Everything. Now further down, marquee from out here onto those two.
Yep.
Right. Now,
and then I'm
lock
just gonna
those.
Lock that.
Yeah. Now come up here and just marquee select from the pasteboard all the way across there.
And then I got these guys.
And group those together.
And I'm gonna group those together.
All right.
And we're gonna show you a really cool new feature.
Yes, we are. Okay, so now Olivier called it out earlier. There's a new little checkbox up there.
Yeah, what is this guy
panel.
Here? I don't know what this guy
fixed
is.
Position. Fixed position.
Could it mean what I think?
What could it be?
Yeah, let's try it out.
Click it. Now go to your preview.
And now.
Oh my goodness! Look at that. Just like a real website.
Right.
Now it doesn't matter where my client scrolls. Always gonna have access to the navigation.
Yep. Really handy feature. Really handy feature. Yep.
Look at that. Fixed elements, everyone.
I love it.
Coming with the next Adobe XD release.
Yep.
Very soon. That's great. And you also had, you know what we might want to add here, just to do this one more time. You had your chat on your site where people could reach out and chat with you directly.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe just drop a little placeholder there for that chat element. element.
And you know, we have an icon for that. Let's see. So let's see, where is that chat icon?
Really soon, Olivier. Like really soon.
Really soon.
Like, not today, but soon.
So I pulled in a chat.
Just got a chat icon.
Yep.
Right.
But it's kind of dark, so and this is a dark background, so now I'm going to change it up a bit.
Now, Erica XD is for Mac and Windows.
Yeah.
And when we release a new feature, we release simultaneously across the whole platform, which is quite the feat, I gotta say. Like, we have an amazing engineering team. Those guys are like, they're the Herculean effort. I can't believe the things that the magic they make happen. But yes, the new feature, the fixed elements, will be launching very soon across both platforms. So,
right.
Yep.
So let's say you're happy with this chat icon.
Okay.
And
Oh, did you
it's
use
gonna
one of
be
your
the-
global colors?
Yeah,
the same color that's in your.
I didn't add this as a global
yeah,
color,
you gotta
but
add
so,
that,
So we should make this.
yeah,
a
your
global
button color, yeah.
So we're using this quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
And
boom.
may add it to your assets panel there too.
Yep. And boom, right there.
Cool. Great. Excellent.
So now, did I click it yet?
click it.
No, I did not.
Fixed
so
element? Okay.
I'm gonna make this a fixed element so that now, when I scroll down, it's always there.
You can always message Pek directly right to his phone. We saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
His phone blowing up because people were checking
Horrible.
out his. Always available. Nice.
Nice.
That's really handy. That's really handy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Very
yeah,
cool.
really cool new feature. I like it. Love it.
We're gonna take this a minute, you guys, to see kind of underneath here. Today we are also doing our daily challenge, design challenge. If you go to the challenge tab on Behance, you'll see the challenge, and the challenge this week is to download this amazingly cute kit of icons, animal icons. And your task, if you choose to accept it, is to create a great experience with those icons, actually using those icons. Doesn't have to, it can be 1 page, it can be 2 pages. It's gonna be a great experience that you can share with everyone and submit through the challenge tab using those icons. And in about 40 minutes, we're going to close submissions, and then at the end of the stream, Pek and I are gonna judge, and you'll have a chance to win a year's Creative Cloud subscription. Pretty amazing. So if you haven't yet, go download XD, start designing with us, submit for today's challenge for a chance to win 1 year of Creative Cloud subscription. So go check that out. I can't promise you can use the fixed element feature yet that we've been playing with, coming very soon, but other great features that you can make a prototype and design at the speed of thought. That's kind of one of our foundational principles on the XD team. So go check it out. Share your work with us, and have a chance to win. All right, so you guys got about 40 minutes. More than enough time. Right, Tim? More than enough time.
All right, so we were doing. Let me close that guy down.
All right. Okay. So we got we got the client logos.
We got the client logos. We're working on the client logos,
Okay.
and so I happen to have a folder of
Oh, look at that.
prep logos, and see what just happened here. I drag one icon,
drag and drop,
and it just, with a repeating grid, it just auto fills
everything.
everything,
Yep.
which is such an amazing feature.
Oh, this is.
The border was there just because it was white on white, so now I have a logo. I don't need that. So here we have our logo wall.
Yep.
And
Did you have the other logos prepped too?
I do. So I was just getting to that. What if
Nice.
I can do.
Oh, there's some dramatic builds. I totally killing your flow, man.
Boom.
Boom.
I can just
Look at that.
do that and see how fast that was.
So
that was
good.
1 second, as opposed to it would have taken me minutes to kind of place them,
mask them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drag them in one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. I'm so over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. Why go? You can't go back now.
Once you have this feature, it's a killer
So
feature.
good. I remember showing that off for the very first time to the design group here when we used to be called XD. Little trivia. The design team here at Adobe used to be called the XD team, but of course we named the app XD, so we had to change our name. But we stood up and we had this, we have a yearly meeting where we all get together and we share the great work, we get excited about design, and we took the very first prototype that we made for XD, back then called Project Sparkler, we were calling it actually. And I stood up on stage and I remember still just like the gasps, like when I did the repeat grid for the very first time. And I think I was designing like a chat app or something like that, and I had this like, you know, folder full of like avatars. And I just like drew out my design. Of course, they were all excited about the layout, you know, moving things around, everything stays in sync. And then I dragged and dropped that like folder in there, and like minds were blown that day. It was it's a good moment. That was the moment that I think that we became like an official thing. So, good times. I never get tired of it.
So one thing I did over here is I made the one logo a colored version, and that's to indicate that you're on a hover state. There's a hover state. Yeah. You know, you can show the. This is you know, a lot of companies. You know, you can show the colors as is, and that's totally fine. But the thing that might be jarring is, you know, they're all going to be different colors. You know, that's. So it's just might not work with your style and your website that you're going for. So what we've done here is kind of muted that and just toned it down and just made it monochromatic, but still keeping
artistic license. You know?
Artistic license.
Yeah, you get a vibe going on here. You don't want all those wild colors to be, you know, harshing that vibe.
Right. Then, but at the same time, you know, you want to keep the integrity of the logo. So on hover,
we'll show the full. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and you know, this underline here is to indicate that we're right now on all, and then if I wanted to filter it by all our enterprise clients, consumer, healthcare, legal, whatever.
You'd expect you'd have different sets of those, those icons being filtered out. Nice, very nice. We also talked about like when people came into the site, they're also, you know, if they came from a white paper for a specific industry that the team had published, or if they came from, you know, other areas on the web. This is one of those things you could actually pre-filter, personalize that experience.
Absolutely.
That would be huge. I think that would. I mean, those little subtle things like that can really up level the experience of a site.
Yeah. You know, if we were at a healthcare conference, for example, and then, you know, we sent you know, our flyer materials had a link that, you know, kind of indicated that we came from there. We might pre-populate that so that if you ended up from that shortened URL. That it would pre-auto-select the healthcare logos so that it's immediately relevant to your customer.
Totally.
Yeah. One of the cool features I wanted to show about with XD, you know, like looking at this as it is, it feels. What do you think? What do you think of this white space here in the middle? Does it feel a little too much?
A little too much.
Yeah. And this feature is just so killer.
Pek knows. I told him yesterday this was like one of my favorite things.
This is my favorite thing right now. Playing with this and kind of like, okay, does this feel better? Yeah.
I remember
feels better.
Talking about with Honorud, who was my partner in crime on the very first prototype that we made for XD, and like that was like one of the most exciting concepts for us, was this idea that like in a design tool you could actually like select that negative space. Just like you could any object like on the canvas, and actually like, you know, and manipulate it directly on canvas, not through the panel or some other setting somewhere, but like directly on the object. And that's
one special request. I like precision, so I would love to be able to select this and do exactly, you know, still have the properties, so that I can type in, you know, -40, +40. Bless you. That way, it's precise.
That you know, that I totally I hear you. If any of the XD engineers are watching today, you know who you are. Yes. All right.
Feature requests.
Yeah, feature requests.
It would be real nice.
Thank you, Tim. Very kind of you.
You know, and we might have way more logos. You know, so I'm not sold on completely getting rid of the notion of a carousel. So you know what? Maybe we will do a carousel, and maybe there's for just kind of like if you had more logos. And,
or at least having those at least indicator that there are more there to
exactly.
Sure, definitely.
So how do we do that? A simple way is to just do a bunch of dots.
Right. And do a repeat grid.
and we can do a repeat
There you go.
again.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's,
Hey, we're getting so spoiled. It comes in so handy.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much you can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I wasn't gonna do a repeat grid because it's not quite ingrained in me yet.
That's always a tricky thing about
Yeah.
about features like this. I think there's like,
And again, don't do this manually. I always kind of say, hey, just do it. Boom.
Yeah.
It's just- and
nice.
that
That's
looks
solid,
good.
man.
Yeah.
Looking good. All right, so now we're kind of working our way down the page based on your sketch yesterday.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So it's always good to kind of refer back to the sketch on what are we doing next. Oh, so we were gonna showcase. Yeah, let's switch back real quick.
There we go. Let's see if I do it. I've got this great. Ah, look at that.
Yeah. So we had this. We have the hero. We have the logo wall, and then we're gonna show a project. Because
show some work.
Yeah, the people. Audiences said that the carousel was a lot of friction, but they don't mind scrolling. So we're gonna basically sprinkle a bunch of projects in between the information that they're asking for.
Nice. Tim, thanks for posting that. It's always great to know, guys. If you have a request for features that you don't see in XD, or maybe something kind of crazy you're thinking about, check out the link in the chat. Tim's sharing a link to our user voice forum. And that's where you can go and you can submit a feature request. You can vote on other features that others have submitted in the past. And that's the thing that we use as a team to actually decide what we're going to be working on. Maybe not next month or the month after, but again, these are things that we're using to sort of like shape our roadmap for XD. So if you guys have anything that you're missing, anything that you want to see in the app, go over user voice, submit something. Go look for, it's probably been maybe suggested before. Go sort of, let's hear your voice there, what you'd like to see in XD. So
Great.
Thanks, Tim. Got it on it. All right.
So we refer back to the sketch, and so we're gonna work on a case study next. And so we're done with this section. What we'd like to do is, so let's go back to the artboard here a bit. I want to take the time. Right now we're just dropping elements onto an artboard, and the design is starting to come together. That's great. The problem is I would never hand this to a client.
Yeah.
Because it's a mess, right? Like this is thinking about user experience. There's the user experience of this design. There's the user experience of handing this to a developer.
Yeah, that's very true.
And to a client.
Yeah, very true.
And do you want to hand this? Is this the experience you want to give them? Of just everything on a single layer. That's horrible. So you would never have that because it's not a good experience for the client. So what you want to do is you want to group them together.
Give some kind of some structure to this.
So
sure.
So let's zoom out a bit here.
It's kind of best practices, like working in a file.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Pek. In this instance, would you send a file to a client at this point in the project?
This point, no. It's still early days. We don't send the file. You would publish.
Yes.
You would publish something and get feedback and review, go through that process, and we can kind of cover that. But as a best practice, this is easier if you do it as you go.
Sure.
It's kind of like my wife who says, it's easier to clean the kitchen if you're kind of cleaning it as you go instead of like just doing it all at once at the end. So
and it helps other designers who might open up the file.
Exactly.
Right? So navigate around. Definitely. I like to push on this because I don't know if it's like an instinct or what, but like I do not name my layers.
No.
In fact, maybe I hate to say this because I know there's some diehard layers fans out there. We shipped XD without layers.
Oh.
And I was pretty much I was against layers for a long time. Like, why do you need layers?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to have to like go and like have to like have the pressure of like naming them.
Right.
Oh well. We did this really big effort where we actually went out and we talked to designers and we actually got to the bottom of like how they use layers. We did this big investigative sort of study into it, and that really informed the design like of the layers panel. Again, we had some really crazy concepts that we actually also tested with people on user voice. Actually, I think the post might even still be there if you go look for layers on user voice. But we actually shared very early design prototypes with people to get their feedback on some of our concepts around layers and how we sort of handled them. And it was, again, the people gave us got a huge response, gave us a lot of feedback, and all of that sort of research that we did and all the sort of feedback from designers actually sort of led to us adding layers in the way in which they're in the app today.
Yeah.
It retained some of that spirit, some of those crazier concepts we had, but yeah, we really got to the heart of like where layers fit in designers' workflow. And like I said, like when your file starts to get, you have a lot more than just a handful of elements, you need layers to just help navigate through that document or through that artboard.
You touched on an important subject outside of just the tool set and the user research. So tell me more about kind of the XD. I'm curious myself how you guys do this user research and talk, learn more about building, this journey of building XD and how you did the user research.
Well, I think one of the things that made XD kind of different when it came to how we build products at Adobe was, we were out talking to customers directly, like from the very first meetings we were having around talking about what this product would be. That was really informed by the problems that designers were having, both internally here at Adobe and externally. So these were things that we were sort of aware of and really out there talking to people, from the minute we got together. And then we also we have researchers working here full time at Adobe, and they kind of play a couple different roles in the life cycle of a project. And sometimes what they do is they'll do ethnographic studies, where they're actually out there and they're actually doing work that's not attached to a product. They're really out there really talking to and getting a great sense of like what's happening with design kind of out there in the industry. And so we had, for XD in particular, we had a really great foundational document that again sort of reinforced those things that we were hearing from designers out there in the industry, things that designers were the problems we were having internally. So we kind of had that, and we really used that to kind of springboard off and start to put together kind of a concept around what this app could be and what are the features that it needed to have in place. And then as we go along, we work with our researchers to do more targeted, sort of research where, again, we might be still tackling things from a big sort of like, we don't know the answers. We need to go and ask very specific questions, like how do you share your work with a client, right? Again, outside of any solution in mind, just what do you do today? And then that's how it helps us sort of can generate new ideas and new concepts to kind of address those problems. And then sort of once we have something up and going, then we have areas like we do some usability testing sometimes when the prototype's kind of very far along. We're putting features out into builds earlier, again like we're seeing with fixed elements today in pre-release or private pre-release, where again we're just looking for people to start using that feature and give us direct feedback on whether it's usability or functionality. So again, research plays kind of different roles kind of throughout the life cycle. But it also starts to just talking directly with designers and with customers. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. How about yourself? Do you guys do? I know that you have like a company. You've got 30 plus people. Is that something? Or is research something that the clients look for you to actually do and help them with?
Yeah. So we are very a la carte, and by that we have a lot of offerings, and it's all on the table what they need. Yeah. So we offer that as a service to do the research and user study. Yep. We also, a lot of times I would say the clients have already done some of the user study, so they have some insight and they're coming to us with some formed hypothesis based on the insight they already got. So it's both ways. So if they need the help, we can do it. If they already come to us with the insight and they already know what they want, we can just jump right in.
Makes sense. Yeah. So I mean, research is such a foundational part, particularly I think of user experience design. You really need to know, again, who you're trying to communicate to, kind of what their problems are, what you're trying to help them solve. Like in your case, it's a client, and the client needs, needs a solution, a design solution for something that they want to do. And just like you were talking about, like, going out there and, having some stated goals really based on that customer feedback that you did. Like that's a form of research. You know, that's really, again, can inform the design and help it be more successful. Yeah, it's great.
And you know, the research side really informs the why, right? You can look at the data all day long. You know, that's another piece of user experience design is, you know, if somebody wants to improve a website, somebody wants to, you know, improve a product, part of my line of questioning will be like, okay, what's working today? Do you have access to the analytics? Can I see what's going on? Give me an objective sense of what's going on. So then we can take a look and say, oh, you know, people, they want to improve signups. So we're like, okay, so what's the percentage of people signing up right now? Where are they dropping off? And analytics will inform you of that, but they won't tell you the why.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You know, so you kind of need both, right?
Yeah.
So you want to look at what's happening, and analytics will help with that. And then at the same time, in parallel, you also want to get to the why. Why aren't people signing up? You know, why is there a 73% drop off? And, you know, maybe it's, you know, the design of the site. It looks like a sketchy site. Maybe there's not enough trust or authority, you know, in terms of, you know, badges and icons that might instill some trust. You know, like if people don't want to check out if there's no Visa logo or something like that, if it looks real sketchy, they might not want to put in their credit card. So stuff like that.
Yeah, and you're only going to find that out if you go and talk to people directly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, great. Hey, everybody who's joining us. Here we are redesigning the site of Impekable, Pek Pongpaet's digital design agency. And we are here designing in Adobe XD. We showed off some new features, fixed elements. We have one more, and I wonder if maybe we can get to one more before we do the challenge submission.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, everyone there in the chat. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't yet, go check out today's challenge. We're going to be giving away a year's subscription to Creative Cloud. And all you have to do is go and download this really amazing UI kit full of a bunch of little animal icons. You need to use those icons in a design from Adobe XD in some way. Kind of up to you. You can design maybe a you know, kind of a conservation app, or you could design, you know, maybe an app for a zoo or for a conservation park, and just got to use those icons and submit, and then we'll be judging those a little later. Yeah, so thanks for joining us here in the chat. Say hi if you have any questions about Pek and kind of his journey from engineer to designer to small business owner. Let us know. Have any questions about design or UX design or Adobe XD? Just speak up there. Yes, and Matthias, we have one more thing here in this very special build that Pek has on his machine today. So we showed off fixed elements. Yep. So let's go over here. We'll come back.
Yeah. What were we gonna show?
So you know how on your site in your chat, right, or maybe in your contact when you hit the contact you button. Maybe we could do either one. You know what you want to have happen is maybe a little dialogue sort of pop up, maybe overlaid on top of your design.
Sure.
So let's, on a separate artboard, let's design quickly what, like a real quick modal for maybe we're gonna do the contact or the chat.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So maybe create a new artboard about the size of that dialogue that you want it to be.
Sure. So we're gonna click on the new artboard, and you know, we'll start with it's small. We'll maybe do like let's say I don't know, a small iPhone. Yeah. iPhone 5, and then maybe we can even shrink that a bit. Let's see how big it is in relation. Yeah, that works for now.
That'll work. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe drag it up so it's up to the top, right there at the left of your other artboard. Yeah. Yeah. Let's drag it so we just see it all in context.
Yeah. I made this artboard really
very long scrolling artboard. We get there.
Super long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
just maybe place it somewhere up in there. That's
there,
great.
For now.
So and then quickly maybe just toss a background on like like a nice little like window background on there with the square.
Yeah,
with the shape.
we can make it look a little bit like chat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, like chat bubbles.
Yep.
10. Fill it with kind of something reminiscent of chat here. just wanna, let's see.
Oh, it has a border on it. The
it
text,
always
yeah.
has the text always has the border on here.
Right. It remembers your last setting.
Settings.
Little tip. The text tool will remember whatever it is you styled your last text as.
So we're gonna make this a little bigger because I want to say, hi, how can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna just center this together. Whoops. Oh, I didn't group these two together. There we go. And then we're gonna group them together. And you know, this is gonna be reused, so I'm gonna make this a symbol.
Okay. Now you're gonna do like maybe like a little form field to people to enter the chat.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
There at the bottom.
So right here, I'm gonna make this maybe
like gray. Yeah.
very light gray.
Yeah.
And maybe add a send button.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. And just make that a nice, like that. Maybe add a
Cedric,
color.
I feel your pain, man.
What's
The
your
USA
pain?
did not. They're talking about a little World Cup. The Netherlands. I can't believe the Netherlands didn't qualify either. Now, actually, I don't feel so bad that the US didn't qualify.
Oh,
I'm very sad. I was very sad about that. We'll feel our pain together. Germany, though, the Adobe, that's Gus on the other side, Paco or Paul on the other side of the Adobe live chat. Yes, Germany. Man, they've got a great team. It's gonna be hard to beat. France, though. France, maybe dark horse pick. Maybe France. All right, so we got our send here. Very nice.
Yep.
Okay. So now, maybe do the background of the artboard as white.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna go this
Select
guy.
you can select you can do by clicking on the name or that. Okay, it's white.
And
Okay,
then
great.
It's white.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, so now this is we can add to this as we go.
Yep.
But now
let's just cover the feature. And
Yep.
here, what I did is quickly called it chat, because yeah, let's do that.
Excellent. So now hop over to prototype mode.
All right.
All right. So what we want, right, in the future is what you want to be able to do, right, is sort of like you click the chat button, this pops up, you know, little modal dialogue there, you know, overlays on top of your site. So in XD today in the build out there, you can't do that, but in this very special build that Pek has on his machine, you can.
You can.
So let's click through there.
See how we
got it.
do that.
Okay. So zoom out a little bit so we can see both artboards. So select your chat icon. Okay. So now drag from the wire. Yeah, drag that. Drag it over to, and you drop it on there. Okay.
Boom.
Yep. And now here, if you can see, there's transition.
Ooh, this is new.
Overlay.
Ah.
So choose overlay.
Like it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So now you can actually move that around.
And
You can actually see where the chat's going to pop up.
Top, right here.
Right there. All right. So we may need to add a white rectangle to that artboard.
Yep.
So just draw a white rectangle and send it to the back. Hop back to design mode real quick.
Yep. And add that white background.
Yeah.
And send to back.
Yep. Okay. All right. So now go back to project mode. And if you go and select the chat again,
Yep.
double click into the icon. Oh, there you go. So
There
now
you
you
go.
can see it. All right. So now go to preview.
Yep. And now.
No. Okay. So in the preview window, you can scroll.
Woohoo! Oh,
Okay.
did
So
we
now-
take this
now-
out? We
There
took
you
This
go.
out.
Now click on the chat.
Boom.
Look at that. Overlaid right on top of your artboard.
Yep.
Right where you placed it. And now if you click off of it,
And it goes away.
it goes right away.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
That is a great feature.
Look at that. You guys are seeing it first.
Yep. You saw it first here.
Yeah. Pek here
This is amazing.
showing off the new features.
This is amazing.
Looks great. I mean, we were talking, and we were looking at your site yesterday, and I was just like, we need to show these features because this would just like it would fit the redesign of your website and really help you show it off in the best way to your team. I just knew we needed to have these features on the stream today.
Nice.
So look at that. So we have, you saw the fixed element. Go back to the preview again. Let's check it out one more time.
One more time.
So we got, Pek he's got his header up here, and as he scrolls.
Oh, I made the whole thing fixed.
Oh, you made that?
That's not gonna work.
That's.
How do I?
Is that what's happening there?
I'm just gonna undo whatever. Yeah, fixed position.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I selected the whole thing. I really wanted to just select this bad boy. But anyways, let's not get off topic here.
Okay.
So we had this.
Then we had the.
Boom.
Oh, look at that overlay. Nice.
Yep, and then you can click anywhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
that's great. That's great.
Tim was asking fixed overlay. Click it. I just want to double check this. So click on that and now scroll. Okay. So your pauses here. You've got to take care of that dialogue.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of like a state. Yeah.
I want to know what Tim means by fixed overlay.
Right. I assume you want this to be able to scroll.
Yes. You can though. You can though have now interactive. So when you hit send, you could have basically like that. Send you off to another screen if you want. And again, as we add more advanced prototyping features, like we're going to see some more.
Yeah.
So this is just one of the things that we have coming very soon to everyone in the official build out there.
Whoops.
It moved the
scroll
line. That was kind of something that I think maybe people have missed. This was a feature that we released just a little while ago. So before, you couldn't really control, at least very directly, that where the fold was.
Yep.
But now you have this little control, that you can kind of just move around whenever, and that'll control like where your scroll is. So very cool. All right, nice.
All right.
Okay, so you've got the start of the chat. Well, of course, we'll find that. We've got your fixed element, fixed header as you scroll. Great. You've got your sort of showcase area.
Yep.
Got your client area, and then
something is funky here. I think the layer is messed up here.
Something's going on there.
So I think
Pek's gonna get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
All right. Have you take this time now? Have you submitted your design today for the challenge? If you haven't, you got about 12 minutes. If you do, you'll be entered to win a year's Creative Cloud subscription. So yeah, download XD. 10 minutes. That's more than enough to design something in XD.
Oh, that's what it was. By default, it had the border. That's
what was going on. Something got a little wonky there.
I knew it was kind of weird. Okay, this looks way better. And again, these are borders you don't need. I'm not okay. Where we left off, I think we were before we were showing this really new feature. I was talking about how this was not ready to be. This is definitely not. I would not present this file to a client because it's not well organized.
Yeah.
So what I've done here is I've grouped them together. So
make them a little easier to handle.
These are units. These are logical units. Right, so I would want to kind of group these all together. Like for example, this guy and then this guy, and group this. This is our client section. And now it's also modular and portable, so that I can, if need be, move them around. If I felt like people maybe want to see a case study first, maybe they want to see. So this is not set in stone. And by having this organized like this, it's easier to move around. Yeah,
definitely.
And so just organizing your folders a bit, and also of course naming them. Right. So this this repeat grid here. This is the carousel dots.
This will help you too, right? And this will help maybe other designers who might have to pick up the work while maybe you're working on another project.
Right, you got repeat grid 1, repeat grid 2. What is this, right? Then I gotta play this game. This is horrible, right? So client logos.
I was thinking one other thing we might get to here before we get too deep into the contest. We talked a little bit about like sharing with your client. So at the end there's a handoff, and you're going to hand off the
Right.
sort of the whole thing. But earlier in the process, when you are getting client feedback, let's say maybe imagine we're a little farther along here,
Yep.
and your client wanted to see something, like how would you do that? Like, I mean, how do you do that? And then again, like, how maybe would you do that if you were in XD here?
Right. Well, in the days before XD, because I've been a designer for a long time, you'd export this whole darn thing into a JPEG or PNG, make a PDF out of it, and and go meet with a client, and there's a projector and whatever, and present your work.
Or email it to them.
Email it to them. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Then you try to keep track of the thread and like where the comments are, and what the feedback is.
But with XD, you can publish your prototype. Yeah. And you want to be able to. So check this out. So let's give it a name. Impekable design. Call it website design concept, and we'll just call this V1. And some of our designers also have we have a process of just adding a .o because they might kind of branch off into two different little revs. So there's not a major revision, so you kind of want to do that.
Yep.
And then you can require password if this is a strict design where kind of under NDA, and you don't want this to be kind of inadvertently shared.
Yep.
And open in full screen. We don't require full screen, so I'm just gonna kind of do it this way. And hit publish.
All right, it'll do its thing here. And I sort of bringing this up because I saw Karthikeyan asking about handing off to developers, which is a little bit different flow than this, but it's the same idea. Is that now Pek will have a URL of his prototype that he can send to his team.
Yep.
Rather than having to export now to a JPEG or to a PDF and sort of send that via email.
Yep.
He can just launch that now. And so this will then be the URL that he can copy and paste to his team in Slack or in email for them to check out the work so far on the site.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. And I think this should have, you should be able to see your fixed elements in here.
Yeah,
I think maybe we lost that, but there's our overlay.
There's our overlay.
Look at that.
Yeah, and we have the client logo, and I just barely started on the new section.
The sort of case study section,
Yeah. So there's something I noticed here. Again, I think it added a border to the thing,
to the
so
thing
I'll have
there.
to get rid of that.
All right.
But other than that,
it's also a nice way to sort of step back from your design a little bit, kind of get out of that context of like working in the application, maybe help you sort of see your design, see things that may be wrong, see things you might want to tweak. It's always good to sort of stand back as you're working to sort of get that view. So, Arthur had a question here.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to talk about some tips for
upcoming.
We touched on a few things yesterday, but maybe if you had anything else in mind. And what are some tips for those burgeoning UX designers?
So for us, we always want to one tip right here is unless you have a established relationship with a client, we want to present our designs. We don't want to just send it over.
Send something over.
Because they might not understand something, they might have questions. We call it, you have to be able to present and defend your design. So we almost always want to do that, either face-to-face in a meeting, or, if that's not possible, do it over a conference call.
Yeah.
Google Hangouts, Zoom, whatever.
There was a thread on that we kind of touched on yesterday where I think that, part of our job as designers is not just to do the design, but to communicate the design to a client. Like that's its own design challenge in a way. Like the way in which you communicate about your work to clients, to other designers, that, that's just part of your job as a designer. So think about like how things are going to be presented and how things will be communicated to any client.
Yeah.
It's all kind of a design problem.
Right. And you want to be able to, they're going to have questions, and you want to be able to tell them why. And that's really hard to do if you just email them the link to the file. They might ask, why is this bright pink?
This might be something you would send them the link when you've gone through a couple rounds and you're getting to that final.
Exactly.
I think one of the things that we do as a team with the prototype is when we get something that kind of again we want to to give someone with a kind of a glance at what the full experience might be. You know, like what you want this to feel real or as real as possible as you've gotten further along in that process. But if you were presenting early concepts, early sketches, you want to give that full context. Like here's where we're at, here's where we've been. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Oh, we just
we've.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I was just gonna say,
Nope. Sorry. Are we on time? Or?
We've got. I want to give everybody. We got a couple more minutes. You see the numbers turned red right there below us.
Yes.
There.
Yeah, we're getting close to the submission deadline.
You've got close to the submission deadline. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure you go to the challenge tab, submit your designs. We're going to be checking them out here in about 15-20 minutes. So you're getting close to the end. Again, a year Creative Cloud subscription on the line. So yeah, if you haven't submitted, be sure to get in there. But don't worry if you don't make that deadline. I know deadlines can get everybody kind of anxious. There will be another chance to win a year's Creative Cloud subscription with Paul Tranny here in about a half hour, as well as all for the 3 sessions tomorrow. So again, if you're just joining us now, don't worry. Go to the challenge tab, get a head start. So all right.
So we enabled comments, and this comes really handy. We noticed that there was this little border, thin border line on the logo, so that we might make that a comment, right? Like we can say, hey, get rid of the thin border on the logo. Yeah,
maybe you're playing the kind of creative director here. You're checking out some early work from the team.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I just left a comment.
Nice. We do our team. The kind of requirement is the designer is sort of attaching the link to any stories that we're working on in our sort of tracker, and then that's the link that then goes out and is shared with our product management team, is shared with engineers, and the link really becomes this like the Bible of the story or the feature that we're working on. So yeah, we're big fans, but I do know that like the sharing, I don't think everyone's quite figured out kind of where it fits, because again we still have processes that that we've inherited from previous projects. But yeah, if you haven't shared a link out of XD, you should go check it out. Some great stuff. New stuff on the way too, in the upcoming release as well for sharing. So yeah. All right, everybody. How's everybody doing? You guys have any questions while we're hanging out here? It's great to see you all. Hey, everyone who's just joining us. I'm Talon Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer of XD. This is Pek Pongpaet, owner, principal designer of Impekable. Yep.
Digital Studio.
So here we are we're actually redesigning Pek's own site here. It's a great project.
Yeah, it's a fun project. You know what? As a small business owner, I barely get to design anymore, so this is fun.
There you go.
It's a nice little break for me. Nice. From the minutia of running the day-to-day of the business. So it's great.
Yeah, that's the secret, right? Is as you progress in your career, you do less and less of the design
that you enjoy.
There's other challenges. There's other things that get you excited.
Now I had a little piece of question or feedback.
Yeah, sure.
Now, is there a way to kind of see this prototype in like a bigger presentation? Because right now it looks kind of small within the setting of the browser.
So we remember we didn't check that show full screen, right?
So we might have to republish
it. So here, well, actually, if you go up to the top right there, and there may have been, you can click on that icon there. Oh, there's a little bug here. I'm not sure exactly. This one we're actually tracking right now, so a little hesitant to sort of show, but this is what should sort of then put your design sort of full screen.
Full screen.
Yep.
Great.
But let's use this as a way to maybe dive a little deeper here. This is everybody, you got about a minute. If you haven't submitted, go submit. So this is a website. You're showing this off. How would you like to see this presented on within the browser?
Yeah, I would like to see it as close to what a coded up site would look like. If I showed this to a client like this, I can see some unsophisticated clients leaving the comment like, "Why is this so small? Why is it so small?"
For sure.
And you have to explain, well, this is a mock-up. It doesn't scale to your browser. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So kind of cutting that, just right out, nipping it right off the butt,
and making it seem as real as it is.
Right.
Would you expect it to resize based on the browser window?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that, you know, maybe like that's a checkbox,
Mm-hmm,
right? Like sometimes you just have it fixed where you do want to control that experience and you're designing for a fixed, you know, size.
Yeah,
But you know, normally if it, you know, maybe it's a checkbox or something.
Would you like it to be responsive? The design.
Then you have to come up with a lot of controls to handle that responsiveness. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
What kind of controls would you need?
You know, kind of auto layout type stuff, grid flow rules.
Sure.
You know, so like if I have a 3-column layout and I scale it to kind of this narrow mobile-like layout, I tell it, you know, it kind of auto flows.
You want to set some rules around just the layout and how the different objects scale within that layout. Yeah, interesting.
That would be really cool. So right now the way you know the workflow does this is we kind of tell people, you know, we might have to provide 2 designs, right? The mobile design.
Yep, and the web
design, mobile web responsive.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. It gives me some things to think about.
Yeah.
XD team, if you're watching.
Yeah. Very pink.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody found the link and.
Oh, nice. Look at that. That's that's when I think Arthur, you had mentioned it earlier. I had actually designed a feature for XD like live on the stream in one of our very first 3-day UX extravaganzas. That was one of the first. I was actually a guest that time with Michael Chase, and so we actually designed a feature for XD using XD, and I actually walked everyone through kind of the process that we go through to actually design a feature. And then what I did is I was able to get like real-time user feedback because I actually shared the prototype of the feature.
Yeah.
And designed in XD for XD. Like, it was so meta and like
very meta.
blowing my mind.
Yeah.
And actually, it's still out there. I'll dig up the link and share it with the chat, and you guys can go check out this feature. And I think it's actually been submitted on user voice. So that's pretty cool.
Time.
Yeah, oh yes, we are out. Okay, that's it. No more submissions. But don't worry, if you didn't submit to make the deadline here, don't worry. Save your design and share it with Paul Tranny in the next hour. We're gonna get another chance to win a year's Creative Cloud subscription. So let's see. I'm going to roll down here. I'm going to load up a few of these. Why don't you keep designing, keep kind of talking through kind of the next steps here, and I will load up some of these prototypes so we can start checking them out for today's challenge.
Cool. So, we're working on the next section, a case study section. So I'm gonna start keep working on that. All I did was drag a background, and we're gonna have. So I pre-made a image here. Whoops! Oh, what did I do?
Tim was paying attention. He was the one who left the comment on your prototype.
Yeah, I know. I saw,
love it.
saw
Love it.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it up here. It was very small. All right, so we're doing a little
we just had a
work in
mock-up,
here.
Just, dragging and dropping elements into the prototype. I keep dragging it into the selected thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what I want.
You want just to drop it in there on its own.
There you go.
There you go.
And we just want some text.
Hey everyone, just joining us. If you're just joining us here on the chat, I'm Talon Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer for XD. This is Pek Pongpaet of Impekable Design Agency, and we are redesigning Impekable's site. Because who has time to redesign their website? That's like the least thing that's the last thing you're worried about when you're running a small business, small design agency. Focus on the client work. When you have time to focus on yourself, do something nice for yourself. So we're actually redesigning Pek's site here. We showed off some new features in Adobe XD. We showed off fixed elements for your prototype. So for on the web, if you need a fixed header element, so as you scroll, your header stays available and accessible no matter where you're at on your website. And we also showed off overlays, being able to actually prototype an overlay behavior for, say, like a modal dialogue, or in Pek's case, he actually has a chat feature on his site sort of hooked up. And so we actually use these new features in XD to design Pek's, add to Pek's site here. And we're previewing the prototype, sharing it online. If you have any questions about XD, about some of the things we just showed off, let us know. And we're going to be here in about 10 minutes looking at some of the submissions today for the challenge. So, all right. So you have. This actually is.
I wanted to show you. Yeah, I wanted you to talk about
Oh, no,
the
you
feature.
talk about it.
Yeah,
I think I know where you're going with this.
I want you to talk about it.
I love this feature.
You to talk about
Okay,
it.
okay.
You do it better.
So, this is like, we really think, like, sweat the details, like, of the application. And when we knew that we need to support point text, right? So you can have a line of text on its own. And we also need to support area text, right? And in some applications, those are different objects. They're really classified as they're handled like very differently.
Right.
But in thinking about how could we make this a little better, a little easier to transition, we've made this very, very simple, very handy sort of way to switch back and forth now between point and area text.
Cool.
Again, a very small detail, but if you go over there in the panel now, because I saw you drag and drop some text in.
Some text
from a file.
Yeah. So I just went to.
But of course, now it defaults to.
I went to Hipster Ipsum.
Yep.
Just to get some hipster.
Classic.
Lorem Ipsum, and so I just pasted a paragraph. So naturally, it just went all over.
This thing.
So how do we fix this?
All right. So over there in the text options,
we go to
the little icon there. Looks like a little line of text inside of a single line of text inside of a box.
Yep.
And that's the point text. So if you just
and
click
we
that,
switch that to
area, and now if you resize,
now you get this guy. You get if you resize.
Now it has been converted into a text box. Now, if you wanted to, you could toggle back and forth very easily. But again, like we have a paragraph of text, you need area text. Really simple way to sort of switch back and forth between that.
And this might be placed okay, but I think we always need to refer back to
our
the
grid. Very nice.
And I want to align things to the grid, right? So this here is I want to align this to this grid.
Nice.
That's just another kind of pro tip to always kind of refer back to that.
Good design principles, sort of having, again, like, knowing the best ways to use and then break that grid if you need to.
Yeah.
But this gives some structure, some consistency to our layout. Helps us when we go and maybe extend our design to multiple pages, that everything feels, again, very structured and has something that really, that we can really hang our hat on.
Yep.
So I'm showcasing a client project here. Maybe, so you got the logo. Maybe what I want to do is maybe talk about, just copy paste some text here. Oops, what did I do?
I think it pasted right on top.
Right on top.
Right on top.
So we're gonna do, so this is a, and I'm gonna use the text style here. Whoops. Yep. This is an enterprise dashboard. This text is too big, so we'll just make this a little smaller. Right. And, we'll just make that a character style.
Nice.
Because, we're going to create more case studies, projects.
This becomes like a little template.
So this could be a template.
Yep.
Exactly.
Very nice. One thing that I've seen, and people get crazy with symbols, but, because, like, if you, with the dashboard image there, if you had sort of made that as just a box where you drag that image into, and then you had your text, you could almost make that whole block a symbol.
That's great.
Right?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because with symbols, you can actually customize and change the content, override the content, like per symbol, but the design and the styles and the overall layout of that component almost will stay consistent.
They stay the same.
So then later on, you're like, and you change that a little bit, you tweak it in one, it'll tweak it across the board.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea, and I would maybe kind of recreate that.
Yeah.
And just get rid of this, make blocks out of this. Even this logo area would be a block.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, project name,
project description, blah blah blah, and then that way, you know, you just drop the symbol and drop.
And this is kind of an interesting sort of behavior when it comes to point text or inside of a symbol or inside of a repeat grid. You can actually make, like, you can actually have variable height with your content blocks. So if, you know, if one paragraph of description was longer than another, the symbol could actually support that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
If you were using point text, something I do with symbols and repeat grid all the time. So
then,
there's your button.
Yeah, call to action. I would say call this read more.
There you go. Showing off that override behavior in real time here.
Yep.
Nice.
And you know, I might override this guy to match the style here. But what happened? Because I use a symbol.
Because you use a symbol.
So what we need to do is
break the symbol. Yep. Ungroup the symbol.
Just ungroup the symbol. Yeah.
I hope sometime soon you won't have to do that. That those kind of the team is actively working on that.
Yeah, but you can.
Yep.
Yeah,
right now we have content overrides, and we definitely.
Yeah, I think color override. Just a color override is huge. So that's
other
like a
overrides,
feature.
like maybe you know, we talked a little bit about those layout rules and constraints.
Yep.
Actually having a symbol, like if you had that button and you could actually, depending on the content in there, it could stretch or shrink. You know, you could actually set those rules on the button.
Yep.
That'd be really cool. All right, so maybe a minute or two, we're gonna start checking out some of your great submissions. I'm just sort of glancing at them a little bit here. Yeah, you guys, what do you? This is like, we should definitely, Tim, you should post the link to the prototype to Impekable, and everyone can go comment if they want.
So as I'm going, again, you know, I'm grouping this stuff, and this is project 1. So that way, you know, if I wanted to move it around, it's very well organized. You know, you want to keep it. This is your workspace, so keep it neat and tidy at all times. Right?
You know what's got another little hidden feature? You can actually use emojis in the layers panel for labeling.
Whoa.
One of our designers likes to label his layers with emojis.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
You could be a little passive aggressive and use a poo emoji on one of the, you know,
just leaving little Easter eggs kind of around the design.
That's great. I think you know, in the comments would be great.
They also, of course, yes. GIF support too, something I'm really pushing on, even though it's very low. Like it would be great if I could just respond with a GIF here in this comment. I'm like, how does that stack rank against maybe like another feature like layout constraints? I'm like, you got me. I guess I can live without GIF support. Trade-offs, man.
So let's see how it looks right now.
Yeah,
you know,
let's
preview it, right? So,
did we fix the fixed element? Oh, let's go do that. Let's do that real quick.
Yeah, let's do
and everybody can see that in action. Has not launched with the official build yet. Again, today I gave Pek access to one of our early pre-release builds. So what's going on here? So we got there's the group. Oh, did it open up in a no? It didn't. Really?
So we got the group, yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? That element, I think, and this might be a bug. Drag that up and out of that parent group.
Parent group.
Yep. So make the header its own group. There it is.
It's right
that's
there.
That's what happened. Is it has the behavior, but it's inside of another group. That's actually a bug.
Got it. So we'll just call this a menu. Navigation.
Yeah, nav. Yep.
So that's pretty common as well.
Yep.
So
Keep it
that's
on its
totally
own block.
fine. Yeah,
all right. So
totally
now
fine.
go back to your preview, and I think we'll have this. We'll have fixed it.
And then same thing with the chat. The chat was
also
we kind of lost there. So chat is persistent. So we'll call this persistent chat.
Yep.
And so that should be.
All right, that should do it. All right, so we now have fixed elements on.
I still haven't responded to my comment. So like that
right.
just
we gotta go fix
annoys
that.
me.
We gotta fix that.
Annoys me to no end here. So so you have that border. So let's get rid of it.
Click it one more time. There it is. All right, that should.
Yeah, that should do it.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna
fixed.
Excellent. Nice work. All right. Here we are. We're ready. We're ready to check out everyone's submissions today. Let's go check it out. All right. All right, so here we are. It's our first submission. Ooh, very nice. Nice colors. All right, African wildlife. We're going to get started. A little slide over. Nice, all right. We got some popular experiences. Let's go see the tiger one. Oh, very nice.
Wow.
But I gotta ask, where are the icons from the
Yes.
This one we might have to disqualify
do we
this one.
need to dig in deeper?
And we're gonna keep going. Oh, we're here now seeing actually some they're streaming. We're streaming.
Yeah, but
We're
I'm still
completely
not seeing icons.
Not seeing those icons. All right, so I think we're gonna have to move on. Sorry about that one. Remember, make sure you read the fine print of the challenge. It's actually right there at the top. The goal was to use those icons in your design. So, sorry on that first one. Lovely design. I love the flow. I like the streaming. Great theme. All right, let's see here. Sign in. Or did we change? We didn't change the icon set, did we? For the challenge? No. Okay. All right.
I love this design.
This is really nice,
Really
design. Yeah, this little profile here, the different posts. Oh, but I'm not seeing the icons here either. Oh, they do not need the icons.
Okay.
Ah, I was totally off. Was that just yesterday? I guess that was yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Okay, never mind. We changed that. Never mind. You guys are doing great work. Don't let us stop you. Okay.
Our bad. Our bad.
Our bad. We like this one. This one had a great flow. This one was, I think, I love the sort of streaming here. This was really nice. Okay, so here we are. This is really nice.
Yeah,
I love the layout here.
To me, yeah.
Line,
I love the
gradients.
use of gradients.
Gradients. Who doesn't love good gradients? If you hate gradients, you can't be my friend. Really nice. All right, let's go check out this one. Oh, here. Oh, we have some scrolling. Very good. This one, of course, with the upcoming release very soon, be able to use some fixed elements would just really bump this up even more. I like the use of imagery here. You've got, some nice white space going on. Really highlights and kind of frames these animals here.
Yeah.
Oh, this one actually did go bonus. It actually used the icons.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go check out. We're going to take a picture. Here we are. All right, we're going to take a picture. Oh, and now we can do a post.
Love it.
I'm going to share that.
Share it with people, and you select who you want to share
with.
with.
Nice. That's really nice.
Hit that.
Successfully shared with my friends.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like
this flow.
Today, I gotta say, these flows are really
smooth.
really nice.
Very
like
smooth.
everybody so far has had a really nice flow. I feel very successful in using your application. I will use again.
It's like butter.
Yes, yes. All right, here. Ooh, going into the ocean. What do we want to explore? Actually, just took the kid to the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
There you go.
Oh, very nice. Nice layout. Sharks.
A shark.
Ooh, nice. Everybody's using
San
really
Jose
nice transitions.
shark fan here, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Actually, the hockey's been quite exciting this year. I gotta say, those Golden Knights, even though the Sharks didn't make it. Watch. Oh, look, and there's the map. Nice. I like everybody's using, they're showing different states of their design. Some nice transitions. These are all really nice, everybody. Yeah, everything's really solid. Okay, on we go. All right. So National Park. Nice. Oh, we have the great case for overlays right here.
Yep.
Coming soon. All right, we're gonna go camping. Oh, this looks like an amazing place to camp. I'm gonna book that. 3 campers, that's more than enough. Kill Bear Campsite. I don't know, that sounds a little dangerous though, but yeah. Nice. How am I going here? Oh, there we go. So some wildlife. Little scroll here. Some repeat grid action. I can tell going on right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty solid. All right. Wildlife, snap them all. Doing a little Pokemon style, finding all the animals out there. Collect them all. Nice. Some nice. Everybody's got this nice navigation going on down here today.
Yeah.
Too. Well, let's go check out the settings. Oh, nice. So we can change our image here. We can choose different ones we might like. Go back home.
Ooh, I love that little menu here.
Good
like
color.
this. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
color.
I
And
like
maybe
it.
another great use case for overlays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Let's snap some animals. Let's go. Yeah, snap it. We're going to take a photo. That's right, because we've been out there. We want to share this. It's probably going to go up to a gallery when we're all done. Oh, we can resnap it. Go back. Oh, nice. It's very good. Maybe I messed that up. Next. Close it out. Nice. Let's go discover wildlife. Excellent. Nice work, everybody. All right, let's move. Oh, there's actually, I popped the challenge. Oh, Olivier's shared a little. Oh, he shared like a whole project on Behance.
Oh, this is.
Man.
Wow, this is a Behance
Olivier,
page.
you should also go embed your prototype, your XD prototype, here in your Behance project.
Yeah.
You can do that. Go up there and there should be a little thing that says copy embed code in that publishing panel. And you can publish your prototype right here onto your Behance
Yeah,
site.
yeah.
Embed it.
We did that with the dashboard UI kit.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've got another one here. Let's go check out. Oh, this is Explore
This
the
is
Park.
the one.
I think we saw.
yesterday.
Yeah, I saw a variation of this history. It looked like maybe worked on it a little bit more. Nice layout. Take a photo. Oh, so added. So that's the update.
Built
there.
on that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Looking good. Nice addition to this one.
Yeah.
All right. We've got the animal lovers. You see some popular ones here. Selfie mode. Oh, of course I would be right there, you know, with, oh, yep. With the giraffe. I'm that giraffe hotel in Nairobi. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Where you're actually staying in a hotel, like on the conservation park with the giraffes. It looks amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, let's roll back through them here. Okay, so we had our first one, the African wildlife.
Yep.
Right. This is very nice. This one used some nice transitions. Right. Profile page got some scrolling elements. Solid. This one had this was really nice. This had a nice sort of that gradient touch going on to it. Almost matches my background.
Yeah, it's very trendy.
Actually, also people are publishing in full screen, which I think is
yeah.
very nice. That's a nice touch, everybody.
Yeah.
Grab that. Oh, so when all the animals are represented here, so that's really nice. That's again like you want to make sure that when people are sort of viewing your prototype, they're not running up against those dead ends. So you want to hopefully design as much of that flow as you can. It's really nice. Nice images. I like those gradient overlays. This one had a really nice flow, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
this was
the
nice.
whole taking the photo
Snap thing.
and sharing with friends.
And sharing.
It was really smooth.
Adding the description here and sharing
with friends.
showing the different states.
Yeah.
This is really nice. And of course the confirmation. All right,
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah.
All right, this was the little different take. So
Yep.
going under the ocean. You had some nice sort of colors. I think that was the really nice elements here that I liked was some of the on the map, the
Yep.
different states. Nice. I don't know. What's your favorite so far? What are you feeling? what's high on the list?
Well, my top three are the meow one, the one before.
Mm-hmm. So this
and
one.
then this one.
This one. This was
this one.
Yep.
And then the one before that, the wildlife
Really nice.
park,
Really nice. Those were pretty good.
And then the animal lovers Behance is the Behance project. This one.
Yeah. It was really. Did we have to submit a prototype, or could we do the link to the Behance?
It's encouraged to follow the rules. So.
Okay. All right. Olivier, this is great.
This is great.
And next time, submit this one and embed the prototype on here.
Yeah.
I think maybe we can fudge that one a little bit, but we got to see the prototype.
Yeah.
But really nice job.
Really nice job.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
Which one? Which one are you feeling?
I think it's to me between these two. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I'll let you choose.
I'm totally feeling that.
What do you? It's all right. So this one with the gradients. This is the gradient one. Very nice.
The design is very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Really trendy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of the UX, you know, the next one is really smooth.
This is
like,
solid.
Really spelled out
This
the
is solid.
interaction.
Yeah.
So I really like it. And then the visuals really work for me as well.
I think
it's
yeah?
really
You
tough.
gonna make the call?
This is really tough.
I'm
They're
putting it on
very
you.
close.
You're gonna make the call.
So I have to be decisive and just pick one. I'm gonna have to go with this one.
All right.
Yeah.
The Meow chased the world's fastest land animal. This one today that really showed off. I think had some great transitions.
Yeah, really
showed
good
some
work.
great states of the application. You know, really helped me kind of experience kind of the full flow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Lucian, congrats.
Cool. Congrats.
Yeah, nice work.
Nice
really,
work.
really
Nice
well
work.
done. I like
Well, it was so much fun to see you using some of those new features today.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you.
for diving into it and just trying out some new things without the safety net.
it. Yeah. No, it was fun, and it was good to see
I think it's
that
coming along.
the fixed position stuff is coming
Overlays.
along. Overlays really useful, you know, for things like chats. Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Yeah,
show off
thanks.
another new thing tomorrow. There was actually
wow.
something in that
Yeah,
build we didn't talk about.
Okay, let's do it
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Great
You're
work.
welcome.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks,
We'll
everyone.
be back tomorrow, and be sure to stay tuned in for the next section of the stream. And yeah, can't wait to see where we take the site tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks everybody.